Hey Dragonauts, what's Dragon on? Astralsflame back here with another deck. We are going to be looking at Mono Black Control today. Before I get into the deck tech, please remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the new decks coming out for MTG Arena, at least the ones that we brew. But anyways, let's get into talking how to control our opponent's board. Mono Black is probably one of the most prominent decks you'll see in the meta, ranking in around the top 5 to top 6. And the reason being, it just plays such efficient removal. I mean, let's take a look at this removal package here. You're already seeing cut downs. You're seeing go for the throats. We've got Infernal Grasp. You see She Holds Its Edict. We've got Liliana. We've got Soul Transfer and even Drown in Icor. You might be wondering, Astrals, why are you playing Drown in Icor? Well, part of it is that proliferate ability. Because in control, we need other ways to hold down the board, and Planeswalkers play a great and effective that. But we have several synergies just aside from our Planeswalkers. You've already seen one though, and that's in Lily. We are also playing in Vraska, and Vraska is nice here for the draw. But proliferating helps two of our other cards in this deck as well. Reckoneer Bankbuster and Archfiend of the Dross. Astrals, why are you playing Archfiend of the Dross? Well, Archfiend here is actually a really strong creature card. It does only come in with 4 elo counters. After you lose the last one, you do lose the game. So a little sad there, but the nice thing is this is a flying 6/6, which is absolutely huge damage to start throwing at your opponent. Partner this with a few proliferate mechanics, and the Archfiend is going to stick around for a few turns to really get the game moving and closer to your victory. The other nice thing here is Archfiend has a secondary ability. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that controller loses 2 life. So not only are you now hitting for 6 every turn, Archfiend is also going to start hitting your opponent for 2 damage for every creature that dies. And doesn't that just synergize so well with this fantastic removal pile in this list? We've got so much removal to hit on basically every front. And you're also going to notice in our removal pile here, She Holds Its Edict being a 4/of, targeting non-token creatures, targeting tokens, also targeting planeswalkers. Pair that with our Soul Transfer, Planeswalkers, no problem. Creature tokens, no problem. Starting creatures, no problem. Any creature, no problem. Your opponent's not going to have a single creature left around to go up against this deck. And when things start to get a bit closer, game's running out, you've used your removal, you need to brush up on resources. Well, that's where our draw package comes in on this list. That is going to be Vraska, proliferating and drawing you a card. Phyrexia Arena always netting you an extra card. And Bankbuster, paying 2 mana to draw an extra card. You have effects that can get you an extra 3 cards a turn in addition to your normal draw. What better way to maximize those draws than with, of course, She Holds It, rewarding you for drawing extra and playing a controlling match. She is going to gain you 2 life for every card drawn, and the more your opponent draws, the more they're going to feel the pain. But we need some gap closers, we need some finishers in this list, and that is where Invoke Despair comes in here. This is a 3/of in the main. It's going to hit your opponent 5 mana. They are going to have to sacrifice a creature, enchantment, and planeswalker. If they cannot do any of that, for each one they can't do, they're going to lose 2 life and you're going to draw a card. So you're hitting them on the front with removal and making them lose life with Archfiend of the Dross. You're hitting them on card draw with She Holds the Apocalypse. Then you're hitting them with Invoke Despair. You now are attacking from creature removal to punishing draws to an upscale finishing spell and just making your opponent suffer each way for every time something is going on in the game you're playing with Mono Black Control. Now we've got 2 last cards that kind of function in this list as helpful tools here. Phyrexian Obliterator, just a good 4 mana 5/5, gonna punish your opponent if they are playing an aggressive deck or even a burn deck, because any damage that this is dealt, the source, that source's controller is gonna sacrifice that many permanents. So if this blocks a creature from your opponent's side, well, your opponent is gonna have to sacrifice as much damage that creature dealt, damage-wise, to Phyrexian Obliterator. So if Obliterator took 5 from a creature, your opponent has to sacrifice 5 permanents. Very good for that. And on the top end, the Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Flesh Gorger is very flexible for this list. You can either play it turn 3 as a stabilizing unit, pushing through 3 damage, maybe trading a bit, or you can slam it down turn 7 as that big 7/5 with Menace and Lifelink, getting you even more life and closing out the gap of the game even further. We don't really worry too much about the land base. This is just a mono black list. The only 2 points of notice here are the Plaza of Hero and the Talking Numa itself. Plaza of Hero is nice. You can give target legendary creature hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So you can keep your She-Holds Ready going, and like the Energizer binder just keeps going and going and going. Talking Numa does play in nicely here, as well as you can bring back one of your creatures that has finished, or bring back a Vraska or Liliana Planeswalker, depending what's been going on in the game state. And I will mention as well, Soul Transfer is nice in that same effect, as you can also return a creature or Planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Let's talk sideboard though. Our sideboard, flexibility options. What do we want to do? Well, it really depends on what we're going up against. If we are in the mirror match, effectively a control versus control game, our removal, not so handy, right? What are we going to use it for? Maybe 1 or 2 creatures. You know, Edict, always beneficial. We can hit our opponent's Planeswalkers, but ultimately we're probably going to substitute out a lot of our removal, and we're going to bring in things like the extra Duress, an extra Bank Buster. You know, taking away our opponent's removal and interactions from their hand, gaining some hand knowledge, furthering our ability to draw better, as well. Bring in Liliana, just forcing your opponent to lose even more cards from their hand, getting her closer for that fantastic ult that can just win you a game in the mirror. If we're up against midrange, things switch a little bit, and this does count in Reanimater lists. We can actually bring in Graveyard Trespasser here. We can still hit up Duress. Trespasser is going to be very nice because you can eat cards from Graveyard. So if your opponent's gone ahead and ditched a Atraxa to Fable the Mirrorbreaker, well, Trespasser is going to eat that Atraxa. You won't have to worry about it. On the same notion as well, we play Dreams of Steel and Oil. We can bring this in. Again, you know, Atraxa in the graveyard. Well, suddenly Atraxa is not going to be there. You also get to see your opponent's hand. You can take away their Bank Buster, their Flesh Gorger, their Steel Seraph. You could take away their Corpse Appraiser and exile it straight away. Nothing hits the bin. You get hand information, and you remove key targets from the graveyard as well. If we go up against aggro, obviously we're keeping in our removal. It's great, we love it, but we have extra removal we can bring in just to make sure your opponent doesn't get one up over you. So for a control, for aggro, we actually bring in the Grixis command here, being able to destroy creatures with power 2 or less, making your opponent sacrifice the creature with a higher power. Also being able to return creatures from our graveyard to hand, or giving one of our creatures +1/+1 counters and lifelink at the end of turn, which is kind of nice. We also bring in Malicious Malfunction. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. If they would die, exile instead. Now, you will maybe note Malicious Malfunction is a little bit of a non-bow with Archfiend and Dross, but that's okay. We're not really looking to try to combo a board clearing with Archfiend to win against our opponent. We just like Archfiend because it's good. And I'd rather exile the board instead of dying, as I hope you would too. Anyways, Dragonauts, that is Mono Black Control. Enjoy the games. We are going to take the play. Grass, Lily, and Gorger. I'm kind of fine to keep. Bad days come and go. Good days outweigh and keep your head short. Oh, that's very true. Honestly, you do. You try to keep your head held high as best you can. The Invoke's nice. I am a fan of that. Go up against what? Daemar or Grixis? Probably Grixis. I mean, I'm just playing the Lily here. They run Spell Pierce. They main deck Spell Pierce. What? What? Arena and then you what? No, you don't have to counterspell this time. What? Did I miss something here? Yeah, there's Obliterator and Transfer. Now I miss a land drop. What's going on, Obliterator here? Puppeteer my mono blacklist. You know, Gixian Puppeteer's pretty good, not gonna lie. Puppeteer's pretty freaking good. Alright, we're gonna move to combat and attack with 5. We're gonna attack with 5. Get him in. Let's just go Gorger for 3. What a wire to bounce? Sure, that's fine. My plan is fine. Archfiend NA. Let's push for 3. Let's go ahead and cast back in that Obliterator. Yes, take game 1. So game 1, I'm thinking the opponent had a big flood out, and counters or interaction in hand may have just been for non-creature spells, based on what we kind of saw. Going into game 2 here, I'm going to choose to bring in Dreams of Steel and Oil and Rest. I'm looking to get hand information. We already know there are counter spells going on in that list, probably Invoke Despair too. But what about creatures, or Reckon Your Bankbuster? We're going to try to use that extra hand information from Dreams of Steel and Oil to assess their game plan and strip those extra options away. Go ahead and see how game 2 goes. Ooh. I would agree with that, Goblin. I'm along the same. I'm going to keep. I double the rest. I can't really say no to. So Invoke, Fable, and go for the throw. Let's just take away that Fable right now. Top deck Bloodbath Harvester? That's fine. Not really worried about that. And I can hold this back for Edict. I think I'm just going to play in Bankbuster. Okay. Kind of need to draw a land. Thank you. Now let's get rid of that Invoke Despair. We'll go down to 14. And I think here I'm just going to cash in Liliana, right? We'll cast her in and then we'll just minus her to take out the Bloodbath Harvester.
Enough with the mysteries. I've come for answers.
And they got rid of the Go for the Throat, which is great because we have Archfiend of the Dross ready to start pushing in damage. Not the Harvester. I don't think I'm worried about that. Frankly, I think I just want to go Edict. Force the sack. And then uptick here. I'm gonna discard my Lily and hold up Infernal Grasp. We'll end the turn. Because I have Infernal Grasp with Bankbuster to draw. Their other Go for the Throat's gone. Makes me feel real good about this Archfiend when we want it to come down. Archfiend into Vraska just to continually proliferate is fantastic. Just a land. Perfect. We'll draw here. Get a land. Play that in. Play in an Archfiend of the Dross. Force the discard, and again, I'm just gonna do Go for the Throat here.
Drop it.
And we'll crew up Bankbuster from Archfiend and push in 4. Have them pass the turn. If I'm guessing that's Invoke Despair. Hey, what's going on, Two Clones? How you doing tonight? Yeah, that's definitely Invoke Despair. Alright. It's unfortunate. Lack of a top deck from the opponent. Ah, no it's not. Never mind. White Will Serpent. So what's this set coming out? Historic or Explorer? It should be for Explorer, but some cards will be Historic only.
I know when I'm not wanted.
Well, let's just crack in for 6 and pass that their turn. But yeah, Innistrad Remastered, the Shadows over Innistrad, sorry. Shadows over Innistrad Remastered is going to be for Explorer, but with some Historic cards. So we go down to 9. is fine. Let's go ahead and draw. Bankbuster now gets crewed. Force you to sacrifice a non-token here. Because you just lose thanks to Archfiend, so this is going to be game 2. Reason why Archfiend is great in this deck, right? Whenever a creature and opponent dies, they lose 2 life. Sorry, 4th fall. I am getting my numbers backwards, and my alerts are still not working. We are going to take the play here. I have 2 removal. Obliterator and top it. I'm going to keep. Our 2 removals can probably carry us through what we need to get to our 4s and 5 drops. So. Do I get the land and life? Very fair question. Very fair question. We'll just go with Bankbuster here. Gonna land off the top, easy peasy. Not gonna land off the top, easy peasy. Gotta land off the top, easy peasy. There we go. Spara Headquarters. Bird Migration. So this is probably 5-color domain. And they're gonna grab what, a swamp or a mountain? Okay. I'll bank it on Arena here. Just so we can start getting some draws. Intriguing by the trading function and paper feel. It's worth playing. I quite enjoy MTGO myself. I obviously don't stream it much anymore. I do prefer Arena, but I did quite like MTGO. So they've got all their domain colors now. Ending right off the bat, taking Arena. Sucks, but I do at least still have Shelly. We'll punch them down to 22. Oh, he might have. My second binding. That's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, it's not. No, it's totally fair. I mean, hey, play MTGO. We're gonna go for the Invoke Despair here. Get back at least something. I'd probably get back Arena. No, I got Chilly. Well, I will attack for 4 to push them to 16. Two bindings have been used. They have some other instant speed response in hand. Drag to the bottom. Alright. Well, I will play Archfiend of the Dross. And crew up Bankbuster once again. Because this Bankbuster is apparently just getting in for so much damage right now. Ley line again. So 3 ley lines in the top 15 cards of the deck. I am impressed. Go ahead and play in She-Holder again. Get them down to 6. Got their own Bankbuster. Alright, so game 2 here. We are bringing in Duresses, an extra Bankbuster, and an extra Liliana, hoping to disrupt the opponent's hand. Our Bankbuster went the distance for all intents and purposes. Really cracked the bank. So we're gonna see how 3 will do in this instance here, and check out game 2. I'm gonna keep. Debating if I want to go to Magicom Minneapolis. I would say it's worth doing, personally. Ooh. 2 Archfiends. Opponent has Domain active. A little scary. So let's duress. Prophecy. Sure. I'm okay with that. Funny one. Zeus is fine. He'll play in a land. And they do casting Glissa here. We're probably just gonna kill Glissa. And we'll jump in Phyrexia Arena so we can start getting some card value against our opponent here. Because right now we are 2 lands behind, potentially 3 if they have another land, which they will with that herd migration. It's okay, we were a little bit behind on land last time, so I'm not too worried on making a comeback this go around. Also, Drag to the Bottom's a little bit of a dead card in their hand. Trespasser is annoying, but that's what Lily is going to be for. Mike's coming in with that Deck Doctor. Ooh, we can definitely do that. Do I want to Lily? I don't actually want to force the sack on Lily here. I actually think I just want to do Edict. Make them sack the Trespasser. And then just play in Bankbuster here. Alright, Bites, after this, we definitely can do up your Deck Doctor. Binding on what, Arena or Bankbuster? Binding on Arena. That's fine. Got the land anyways. I think I'm gonna use the Infernal Grasp. And then play in Lily here. We are gonna uptick Lily. We should see the Drag to the Bottom discarded.
We all have things we value.
Right, a Ganjo. Herd migration. That is a little unfortunate. Let's go ahead and play out our Archfiend of the Dross. We're gonna -2. Force them to sack, which will trigger more life loss. We'll say next, no attacks and pass the turn. Now we're just kind of looking to clean up that board there. This Lily is a problem, right? So all I have to do here is just... do I even have to crew? Whatever, I'll crew it, it's fine. Pass to blockers. Bump over here. Block. Draw. And now they go down to 20.
Isn't how things were supposed to go.
We're going to play in a Phyrexian Flesh Gorger here. Screw up and push in 10 damage. That puts him down to 12 now. we'll pass the turn. They discard land. They get an Azusa. Nothing really to do on there, though. They might go in for an attack. Perfectly fine if they do. It might just be attack with 1. Which in major cities. Back in with all. We're just going to force the sacrifice on a creature token from the opponent here and put them right down for lethal, actually. They're at 10, nothing to play with the Bank Buster, and that is game 2. And there you go. Mono black control. Archfiend of the Dross is new in the meta. Definitely taking the play. Definitely shipping away this hand though. Holy, no lands. Yeah. I guess Obliterator goes back and I keep Edict plus 2 Despair, right? Some Archfiend, that's kind of good. Like, back-to-back Invoke Despairs are game-breaking. So we just need to top deck 2 Swamps, and then we're in good business here. I might just jam in an Archfiend here. And just have the 6/6 out to put pressure on the opponent. Yeah. Sure. Double Braid is fine by me. I'm just gonna play it out again. Like if they play out a creature here and Archfiend is alive, we just have Invoke Despair. Yeah, like this. And we just go Invoke Despair. Right, and then they suddenly go down to 10. Pretty good. Aw, we lose our other Invoke Despair. Sad face. Oh well. So this goes down to 2 now. Hey, what's going on, Caleb? How you doing tonight? Welcome in, friend. Happy Tuesday. Push them down to 4, and we'll cast in another Archfiend of the Dross. Pass the turn. Now, if they play out any creature here, we just Edict and take game 1. So game 1, Archfiend and the Dross slamming in, did the damage. Turns out a 4-mana 6/6 and really just end the game. Game 2, we're bringing in hand disruption. So Dreams of Steel and Oil, bring in Duress, bring in Lily. Kind of our typical game plan. I don't know much about the opponent's deck aside from its 5-color. So this hand disruption should give me a clear idea of what's going on with the opponent. Let's see how game 2 goes. 1 land, definitely not keeping 1 lander. Definitely not keeping a no lander. Guess I'm keeping that. I'll keep the Dreams and the Invoke. I have at least it's hand information, right? There's the Duress opening hand. Alright, what you playing? You are Reanimator, so that's good to know. So this is definitely a Traxa Reanimator. I need to wait until the discard happens. Not that it matters, because if they just have the Atraxa here, I should have just Dreams actually. Oh, they didn't have it. Alright, that's good to know. I have Disdainful Stroke though. Means my Obliterators are under resolving. They can also just Cruelty me here, and I kind of just lose this one. Mull to 5 kind of sucked a lot. I need a Invoke. Now they just tutor up anything, so we're gonna go to game 3. I don't take this game. back on the play, I'm gonna just stick with their strategy and we'll run it that way. All right, take the play. Yeah, I'm good with this. The big thing here is the dreams. I mean, duress would be great too. Ooh, and multiplied by the opponent. Fantastic. This dreams is gonna be punishing. If I can hit the Atraxa target or Reanimater target, plus we get hand information, so right now we're getting a 2-for-1. That's huge. Harvester, Appraiser, and Duress. Let's go ahead and just take off the Appraiser. I don't care much about the Harvester. Like, they're gonna Duress me and take the Invoke. But I still just have an Archfiend and a Vraska. No, they didn't. So, Harvester comes in. They're left with 2 cards in hand, and my 2 are a lot better than the opponent's. Go ahead and take that, and I'm actually going to cast an Obliterator here. We're going to push in for 5. They won't dare block. And we'll just cast in an Archfiend of the Dross here. Royalty's fine. I mean, I've got nothing in my hand from them to discard, right? This is just going to give me a free cast and kicks. So they either have to tutor something up. And tutoring up ends the game. This is 11. Creature dying puts them down, and they're already at 12. So this is just lethal. Stack, go to 10, lose that. Down to 8, and there is the game. So, monoblock control, there you have it. Hey Dragonauts, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. It is always appreciated. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date on any new decks coming out for MTG Arena. And as always, keep believing. I'll see you next time.